Hello. Hey, look at that. All right, thanks for your patience. We had to charge an iPad before we could hook up the speakers. He said it, not me. All right, so I don't know what time it actually is right now. What time is it? 46. We're behind schedule. So this is the one-on-one. We're going to do that right now. After this, we're going to have our normal news with James. And then after that, we'll take a little bit of a break and then have Cody come up. Cody's joining us all the way from his new home state of Texas. Everybody say, welcome back, Cody. And then we're going to have our friends from the FBI do a little talk after that. Just a heads up for the people that may or may not be listening on the live stream, because we're starting late and who knows if anybody's actually watching or not. But that second talk is not going to be live streamed or recorded. So you have like 45 minutes or so to drive here if you want to see it. Normal housekeeping. Obviously, there's a lot of expensive equipment and stuff here. Please don't touch or play with anything. Bathrooms, there are two, so remember there is one in the hallway here, and then there's the one out front. Our sponsors, make sure you talk to our sponsors. They have drink tokens. Oh, and so we always say this, but last month, people were not as good about it. So this is the listening to the talks zone, and the chit-chatting and socializing zone is out front. So even if you're in the way back and you're kind of down in that little hallway, it does kind of echo up and around and over. So just talk out front if you don't mind. All right, disclaimer, so we are officially rated R, which I like to say means we can say more than one fuck word. But important thing to note, our code of conduct does still apply. So everything that's in the code of conduct, you're still expected to follow it. So if you don't know it, there's the link to it. Please read it. If you have any problems with anybody or anything, please reach out to us. It says we have Slack, but we don't have Slack anymore. But we have Discord in person, and then we've got our email address also. Challenge ideas, not people. I don't remember who stole it from SecKC, but that's where they stole this from. It is still a really good rule to follow. Again, if you have any problems, this is our lovely board. I'm there in the middle. Yeah. All right, special thank you to our volunteers. So we've got James, obviously, Kenny, who helps up with AV stuff. Jake Drehos is not here tonight, I don't think, but he does CTF stuff. And then for some reason, I just completely blanked on your name, even though I know it. Jared, our AV guy. I owe him a drink now or something. All right, ways you can help. Be a speaker, create a CTF. You can volunteer. We do need help setting up chairs and that stuff. Also putting down the chairs after we're done. We also take donations. All donations you can do through our open collective, which is also where all of our financial is. So anybody can go on there and see everything. It's all an open book. Let us know if you have any questions about it. No. All right, let's see. Thank you to our major contributors. So these are people that did extra to help make sure we can afford this really, really great space here. For tonight, so space provided by SecDSM and you. Food provided by SecDSM. Drinks tonight are from our wonderful sponsor, Pro Circular. Make sure you go out and talk to them. Again, reminder, the Open Collective has all our financials. And CTF. So who's here already is working on CTF? One person? Two people. Have you solved it? All right, well, keep working on it. I know there's people chatting in the Discord about it and stuff like that. There it is. Some upcoming events. This is not comprehensive. It's just kind of a best effort. I know I'm planning on going to Wild West Hackin' Fest, so if anybody wants to go to that, that'll be cool. Reminder again, I've said Discord 8 times now, but join us on Discord. Get off of Slack. Slack's for losers. Now we're ready for James.
Why are my slides all tiny? Before I grab this microphone and move it around. All right, there we go. Is that forward in the slides too far? Nope. All right, one of the things we've done before, we have the hobbies channel out there. We were using it a bunch on Slack when we were meeting directly in person. And because we are able to meet in person again, I wanted to throw a quick notice up there because I kind of ran the hobbies channel until Colin took it over and made us all look at 9,000 things about his car. But the idea of the hobbies channel is not only to discuss different hobbies going on, but local meetup ideas. So if you have any ideas of things you want to do, it's been talked about doing taco night, hanging out. We've done events where we've met up for lunch on a Friday at Johnny's downtown before years ago. If there's any food festivals or music festivals or anything like that, and you want to put a thing out there where you're going and get a group of SecDSM people together just for fun, that's out there. The one event we have done planned there before is we've done a SecDSM shoot. So if you're a pro-gun person, great. If you're not, no big deal. But we have done a SecDSM shoot in the past, range days, multiple times. We've gone to Butch Olafson up in north of Polk City. I actually talked to a local contact here, one of the local sales guys that works for a vendor, and he actually got approval to cover some of the costs. So we may have some potential ammo purchase that's for free. If you are a shooter or a gun person and have looked at ammo prices lately, they're through the roof. So that's a big potential purchase there that would save some money on going up or potentially covering fees. I will run that, so I'll set something up for a date and time that works for everyone. We all run it up against Hacker Summer Camp, so maybe something like 2-3 weeks from now, or probably in middle, end of August. I'll throw a poll out there. Once everybody votes, let me know what days work for everyone, and we'll go ahead and get that scheduled, and I'll talk to the local contact, see what it works for him, and we'll get that going. So hopefully we can do that in either August or September. Again, if you have any more ideas, anything, put it out there, let people know. Everybody loves getting together and hanging out and shooting the shit and drinking beers and things like that, so feel free to do so. And then the news. So big one first this week. I believe this came out on Tuesday. There was a basic research report that came out from a vendor. There's a new NPM supply chain attack. So NPM is a package manager. This is actually JavaScript packages. This goes back to somewhere between December of 2021 and potentially some activity all the way back to 2019. If you're not aware of package managers, package up software, inside of that is JavaScript code. Those can be taken over. This is actually called icon burst, which is why I use the explosion memes for fun. But it's actually typo squatting. So a big problem there is packages will either get abandoned that are open source, or they get taken over, or code gets injected into them. You can inject malware into them. That's the case here. So it's not only typo squatting, but malware in these packages. From the research report, we're talking about hundreds to thousands. These are desktop apps, mobile apps, and website-based. It's JavaScript. A lot of this is third-party stuff. A lot of this is middleware. It's really more of a heads up. We're all, aware of problems already. This is just another thing you should probably keep an eye on, just to be aware of that. If a package gets compromised, some internal app is developed on, you are then compromised yourselves. So it's a not lovely, awesome thing to happen. In ransomware news, we actually have ransomware using Cobalt Strike a lot. If you're not aware, Cobalt Strike is a professional program out there. It requires, I think, a license is usually around $2,500 to $3,000 a year to actually buy from the corporate company. Unfortunately, the software packages have been released out there into the world, and there is a lot of threat actors that use Cobalt Strike. This report is out and actually stating that not only is Cobalt Strike a big one, but this new Brute Ratel package that is a pen tester, professional pen tester package, professional compromise software is out there and being used by ransomware actors at this point. So again, more of a heads up. And if you're interested, the reports are out there and you can find out more info about that. Another big one for ransomware, there was a big ransomware package that came out and reports on this. We have both Windows and Linux side. It's affecting VMware ESXi servers. I know a lot of us do a lot virtually for our companies, or for if you work for a vendor for supporting your customers. This new one's called Red Alert. It's a Linux encryptor created to target ESXi with some command line options. So keep an eye on that. if you haven't heard of that one yet. This one's actually entertaining. I had to put this one in here. So for all of us that have looked at, or if you've ever looked at insider threat, it happens in security companies. We've seen it happen to security companies before. This one happens to be a security incident. The basic news story on this, Bleeping Computer has, but there's actually a link in the story from Bleeping Computer that links to HackerOne's internal IR investigation. They actually determined an employee working for HackerOne, which, if you didn't know, is a bug bounty program company, was actually using his or her access, I'm not sure if they specified who it is yet, to turn around and re-report vulnerabilities that were reported through their software to the actual vendors and collecting money. So they had to turn around and run an incident as a security incident themselves from an internal threat actor, had to shut down the person's machine and figure out what was going on. And then I believe in the report it specifically says they haven't pursued criminal activity, but you can imagine that's the plan going forward. And then a couple quick hits to finish things out. DoD has done a hack the government before. They're doing another one this year. Funny enough, as of the last story, they are using HackerOne, so take that for what you will. But these usually require security clearances, and they have programs set up, but it's just kind of cool that they're doing a hack the government again to find security vulnerabilities. Apple introduced a new lockdown mode that is supposed to be coming with iOS and macOS 16 that will counter spyware on your phones. So if you're an iPhone user or a Mac user or your company supports them, keep an eye on that. And then a report came out of a company called Top 10 VPN that we've actually looked at shutdowns through different companies across the U.S., and it's actually up to already $10 billion so far this year, and I think it only covered through April or May. So expect that this is a massive hit. Most of this, no one's surprised by, has been Russia. So that has been Russia and tied to Ukraine activities, which is still ongoing and a big mess. And that'll do it for the news. Jobs-wise, I forgot to mention, because I haven't had to say this in a while, but I got a new job recently, and so none of the news that I just shared or anything that I just shared is tied to my company, and this is my own personal information. And as far as jobs go, I'm running a threat intel team now at my new company, so nothing right away. But if you are crazy enough to consider coming to work for me and you're interested in threat intel, come and hit me up sometime, because in 6 months to a year, I'm probably going to be building up, based on our customer staff, a CTI team that is not just me, and I'll need help. So if you're into threat intel or thinking about it or interested in it, come hit me up and let me know. Otherwise, we like to put the option out there for people to come up and talk about positions they have open. So if you'd like to come up and tell us who you are, where you work for, what you got, and what you're looking for, here's the time. Anyone? Thank you for not making me wait 30 weird seconds like I had to last month. Microphone.
Hi. Hi, my name is Parity Boatwright. I'm a recruiter at WorkEva. For some of you who have known me like maybe 4 years ago when I started coming to SecDSM, I just found a permanent home at WorkEva, located in Ames, and I'm with Eric Anders, our CISO. So I'll just pass it on to him. We have several openings.
Thank you, Parity. Yeah, I'm the CISO at WorkEva. My name's Eric Anders. We've got 3 senior positions that are opening up, 2 that are actively open and 1 that I think will be open within the next week or 2. But that's Senior Director of Information Security, which is going to be taking on management of what is currently a sort of generalist security engineering team, AppSec and CloudSec sort of resources all combined, and start to build that out into a few focus teams. We've got a identity access management architect, because we need somebody who can build that out as an actual program. Love to talk through that one if there's questions there. And then the third one that's the one that's actually not quite open, within the next week or 2. And then we've got a staff security engineer position that'll be on that cloud security team when that gets broken out as well. So lots of different things that person will be doing, but primarily working on our AWS and Google infrastructure. So yeah. You have anything else? Sorry, what's that?
Have you guys put those on Discord yet?
I have not put them on the Discord yet. I am in the Discord, so I'll get those added there. Yeah, absolutely.
And also, if you want to connect on LinkedIn or get my contact information after this meeting and before applying you have questions about Workiva and the culture, please feel free to. So I'll be here for a while. So thanks.
Thank you. Cool.
Thank you. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? I don't see anybody. All right. That is it for me. Agenda, just to finish out. We got the 101 next month at 6:30, as long as we don't have audio problems. SecDSM news from me. And then it looks like we probably have talks open. Is that the case?
We've had a few submissions, but I don't think we've replied to anyone yet. So.
Okay. All right. So talk spots are open. We could always use them. And how's everything booked past that?
We can always use more.
Okay. Perfect. All right. We normally just take a 5-10 minute break. Call things good. Everybody go grab another drink, grab something to eat if you haven't had pizza yet, and then we'll see you in 5-10 minutes. Yeah. What? All right.
Check. All right, it's on. Brandon Potter, I'm with ProCircular. Not going to do the vendor pitch, but we are always looking for great cyber talent. Specifically, I have 2 incident response positions open, 1 mid-level and 1 senior level. If you want to combat ransomware and do some sweet BEC reviews, we're looking. So the position's posted, procircular.com/careers. There is also some other openings as well if interested. So we'd love to work with you. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, everybody. See you in a few.